Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake, and we've got a special tier list episode for you. That's what the YouTube loves. And it was a way for me to talk a little bit of trade deadline without doing some of the same stuff we've done. We've talked a little bit of players. We've talked a little bit of teams. I want to zoom in on the teams aspect a little bit, as this will be the last episode of Wake and Jake in June. It's June 30th. The calendar turns to July. It's basically a week and a half to the All-Star break. Pretty nuts. I can give you my normal Jakey speech about how if you head into the All-Star break hot, that changes a couple of these teams. It's 10 games. Does an 8-2 do anything for Atlanta right now? I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't necessarily help. That I do want to preface this exercise with, initially when I was dreamboarding this, when I was making the tiers for the MLB teams, I did think about having a category that said the next 3 weeks will decide. But I think that ended up putting too many teams in it that I'd rather make the difficult decisions and then have to ad-lib on the fly. So the current categories we have teed up for MLB team trade deadline tiers. At the top, it's all in. I thought about putting Chris Moneymaker, for those that remember the World Series of Poker winner, probably 25 years ago. Jeez. All in worked. And then the other categories ended up working better, because second is good move but bad trade. Like, hey, you got to put some chips in, and you might have to lose. But if you win that trade in the moment, it's what your team needs. Like, you're kind of in a window. It's time to go make the move.
Like, maybe you got to get a little irresponsible.
Yeah, maybe you got to throw in the extra prospect. Maybe it doesn't look good on whatever team's grade calculator it is, but you got to make a move. Below that is good trade, soft move. I will say it's a little bit where the Yankees have landed in past years. They don't like to over-compromise the trade. That, okay, the best value we could get was on this pitcher. So even though it made our pitching better, that's the move we made. That a lot of smart teams, like, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. A lot of smart teams move this because you're not making what above it is a bad trade to potentially mortgage future years or other decisions. Make sense?
Just leaves like room for your fan base to not be like bragging about it.
Right.
But like objectively, you made a smart choice, probably.
Like, I'll tease this, and I think I'm gonna go in alphabetical order because it's actually shocking how juicy the starting four teams, if I go alphabetical, are the Diamondbacks, the Braves, the Orioles, and the Red Sox. So that's probably how this is gonna work out. But teasing it a little bit, I think coming into this exercise that the Dodgers are good trade, soft move. Like, they're probably just gonna get another arm or two to help get them through, but they clearly already have the other pieces that they're probably not going to be good move, bad trade. I don't know. I'd like to see the other company we keep. In a way, they're already all in, so it's where it can get tricky. I have doing nothing is okay. I'm interested to see what teams will fall into that. I do have doing nothing is crazy, maybe just more so because that became my favorite trade deadline call of all time. Beebs, I might need you to hunt down that clip just in case people haven't seen it. Sometimes I never know if I should be defending Joe's McFly on this program, but it's maybe his number one piece of artwork he's done. Below that is soft sell, and below that is sell everything. So I'm interested to see if I need to combine tiers, if this is too many, if it's too soft. It's the beautiful of making tiers here. We have all the power in the world, people. So let's get into it with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll go alphabetical to start, and then I'll see if the wheels need to come off. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the biggest team to watch at the deadline still. They are currently, as we record this, Ooh, 41 and 42. I thought I was going to look and see slightly above 500. 41 and 42. Here's the Joe's McFly clip. This is him reacting to the Yankees 2023 deadline when the team was atrocious.
Doing nothing is crazy. I swear doing nothing is crazy. I am losing my mind right now.
We get that to the socials team and just post it a lot. That should be a company signature tweet. Like if a guy makes a bad base running move or something. Anyways, the Arizona Diamondbacks, as we record this, are 41 and 42. They have a 0.3% shot to win the division, listed as 17% to make the postseason. Crazy how things have gone for the Diamondbacks this year. The momentum has just never continued. The Giants are a few games ahead of them. Same with the Padres, and then the Dodgers on top of the division. They are juicy for a lot of different reasons. We've run through it before. Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez on the final year of their contracts. The young outfielders for there were rumored to be traded for years and never happened, between Thomas and McCarthy, who both had different breakout moments. Randall Grichuk, and then Zach Gallen in the last year of his contract. Could Merrill Kelly be moved? Could a team like Erod? Everyone in their bullpen is open because their bullpen is 28th in ERA and 26th in WHIP. That being said, there's still guys that would get interest because we all need arms come October. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, let's see, Beebs. I mean, I guess I was leaning soft sell, but maybe could it be just doing nothing is crazy?
That's definitely where my brain went to. I think they have to at least be.
You have to make a decision. I like it. I like. We just played the clip. Let's put them there now. Like if the Diamondbacks say let's burn this thing into the sun, and we don't get trade value for Zach Gallen, who has been part of the fabric of this franchise. Suarez. Does he have the player option for next year?
This year was the player option.
So that's it.
Between those two and Naylor, they have to be listing on their rentals. They just have to.
So it'd be really interesting with all three of those guys. Does I just want to call it the franchise tag, the qualifying offer. The qualifying offer for all three of those guys is pretty interesting.
Definitely Gallen and Suarez, you would think.
Gallen, how he finishes. Suarez, how he finishes. If Suarez plays out a season like this, it's a no-brainer. Naylor doesn't rack up WAR, but I don't know, for 1 year of $21 million or something. So that's the other side of this equation, that if the Diamondbacks are going to be selling, it better be a buyer's market. They need to be getting 125 cents on the dollar. They need to feel good about the trades they're doing. The point of it is that doing nothing is crazy. Their pitching on pretty much every level hasn't clicked. I mentally was planning on soft sell. Let's see where everything else lands. I don't know if I'm willing to tap out on my Diamondbacks left. And again, this would be where I would say the next 3 weeks are massive, or probably 4 weeks even. Because if the Diamondbacks did put together a 20-10, things get a lot trickier. And then they're buying, and this is a team that everyone's liked, and their offense is top 3. So let's just say doing nothing is crazy for now. That's the reason it's there.
Because even if the flip side of not moving your rental guys, if you're not going to do that, then you got to bring in some arms.
You need
whatever.
You need something. Doing nothing would be crazy. And yeah, I do think this is going to turn to trade with the way their division's sorted out, the way the National League has sorted out. Jordan Lawler, top prospect for them, still looking for a playing opportunity. That it just seems like the soft sell would probably be the right answer. But let's go doing nothing is crazy. The Baltimore Orioles, second on this exercise and tricky themselves. They've been playing better baseball recently. If you look at the last month, The Orioles have a winning record. They're getting a couple pitching performances out of guys. Maybe I'm biased. No, you're not biased, Jake. I've daydreamed a little bit if Baltimore could actually right the ship, new manager, still a lot of the same names we like. The answer's soft sell. Because with this market, with what they have available, between a couple of their pitching options, like Eflin should be on the table, Sugano potentially, Morton if someone's in. They have kind of some nice bullpen names between Dominguez, Soto, if you want to get Bautista for the right price. Orioles fans, we mentioned that a couple episodes ago, and they got very not happy. And Cedric Mullins, who I know is in a funk right now, but I know there's teams banging the table for Cedric Mullins. Gary Sanchez? How many teams could throw him in the middle of their lineup, catching and hitting? Know what team I really like for Gary Sanchez? The New York Mets. Right?
Don't dislike it.
Little extra thump. The return to the Mets. People forget. Ryan O'Hearn. I just think if you're the Orioles, you can soft sell and not be mad about it. You got off to an atrocious start. Like, your team could, in theory, I don't want to say get better, but like Trevor Rogers just joined the rotation. He's one of the guys they traded for and made a move. They've gotten a couple pitchers back that, like, you can talk yourself into the game plan of soft selling. We deserve to do this and not mortgaging the future, he says. Got to speak better sometimes. Mortgaging?
There you go.
But is there a T in there, right?
In the word, yes. I don't think you have to, like, hit it.
Crazy.
That's one of the English is a stupid language ones.
No, it's not crazy. Out West. This episode is brought to you by Out West. You're not sure what it is? Well, you would have known if you saw me on the television. I was wearing Out West. I was wearing one of the Q-Zips. You know Daddy likes a Q-Zip. Head to the golf course. What's the weather say? 62? That could feel a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Layers. And Out West has all the layers for you, whether it's polos, hoodies, Q-Zips. They've got women's products as well. Start matching. I think I'm going to start doing that. And it's the perfect time to stock up, even double up on your favorite fabrics from the best kept secret in activewear. I don't know. For those of you that follow John Boy Media closely, I think you see when some new partners come in, whether it's behind the scenes stuff or in the camera. Out West came through. People are wearing it. And that's kind of all you need to know. So, and today, June 30th, and I'm going to push them for a little bit tomorrow. They got a nice little sale going for you. Wake and Jake listeners, we're going BOGO. Buy one, get one, site-wide with our friends at Out West. I think I'm probably doing this. The sale is for today only. Okay, I'm going to negotiate still. But either way, go check out outwest.us today. Grab your favorites. The sale is live now. When the clock strikes midnight, it's over. Jeez, that is tight. I'm gonna push. If you're trying to get your Out West, hit me up. We'll hit them up. But get there right now. Use code JOHNBOY to get in on this great buy one, get one deal. Outwest.us, code JOHNBOY at checkout. Really good stuff. A nice green color. I guess that's in the mix for me recently. Holy smokes. We got to start chewing away, folks. And it doesn't get easier at the top. I'd love a couple layups, but the Atlanta Braves are not that. Maybe they are. Let's talk ourselves through it. The All-Star game is coming up in Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves in the standings, they are 8 games out of the wild card. The Atlanta Braves are 10.5 games back of the East. They're a half game up on the Marlins as of today. Could they do nothing, and would that be crazy? We're the Atlanta Braves. Should they soft sell? Could they sell what they want? Good trade, soft move? I guess I kind of want to keep that open for the contending teams. Like, they feel like they're on the other side. I guess I have to put them with the Orioles for now. I think if they've got bullpen pieces that they can get some assets on, if the Ozuna trade is there, again, they're borderline doing nothing is okay. Like, it's the Braves, right? It's the whole conversation. Like, why isn't Ozzy Albies playing better? Why isn't Austin Riley playing better? Why is Michael Harris not hitting a thing? That doing nothing would borderline be okay? Like, you guys are supposed to be good.
They're locked up. Like,
right. That was the whole Braves thing. I still think you'd list it as soft sell. That if you're getting offers for the right arms or still Ozuna, you do it and you deal with that ripple effect. Like, that doesn't mean the team should be awful. You weren't supposed to be. But man, they have really put themselves behind the 8 ball. Have we Googled that phrase? Braves and Orioles, the two teams I fell in love with right before the season. I guess they deserve each other down there. Speaking of, here's the Boston Red Sox. And it's a different story in the American League. That is good news for our friends from Boston. They are 8 back of the American League East lead. They're 3 games out of the AL wildcard. This, for me, is the biggest no-brainer. Doing nothing is crazy. If the Boston Red Sox do nothing at the trade deadline, the team might just fight each other. Like, they might not make it through the season. Walker Buehler's basically saying, you should cut me. Does Alex Bregman want to be there anymore? Let's see what happens when he comes back. Lucas Giolito has put together 4 straight good starts. If Aroldis Chapman is available at the deadline, he is going to get a haul. A haul. So, like, is Jarren Duran there? Here's what I'll say. Boston, actually an 8-2 for them heading into the All-Star game would be magnifique. That's French. They just can't do nothing. And I think Red Sox, they traded Devers. So in a way, they already
didn't do nothing.
They've already done not nothing. If they continue to do nothing, that would just be crazy. It's crazy. With all of their young guys, with the Duran stuff, with the pitching, doing nothing would be crazy. In the words of my guy, Joe's McFly. Sneaking down the board, I think we're starting to get easier. The 4 C team. 5? Chicago, Cincy, Cleveland, Colorado. Jesus.
I know where to put Colorado.
Just put them on sell everything. We know they won't, but they should. They don't even have like a soft sell option. Like, what's that even mean for them? Biebs, well done. The White Sox, the Marlins, and the Rockies.
I think that's a quick, easy thing.
Sell everything. You should not even debate it. It just is what it is. The Chicago Cubs, who should be leading off this exercise, we have to imagine they are up top on this tier list. They have been first place pretty much the whole year in the Central after their far West Coast trip to face the Dodgers in Japan to start the season. The Central has caught up. The Milwaukee Brewers are 2 games back playing good baseball. And as of today, the Brewers would be in the playoffs. The Padres would be out in the National League. Did you know? So the Central has come back with vim and vigor, and so would the Cardinals. The Cardinals would be in the dance as of today. They're 2.5 games back. And now, as I've fallen out of love with the Cincinnati Reds, they won Talking Baseball's poll biggest dark horse to make the playoffs, which I don't really get. Whatever. I like their young pitching. I used to like their young hitting. The Chicago Cubs. I think we're all in. We brought in Kyle Tucker, which was a very all-in move.
1 year.
1 year. That's it. I think the good news for Cubs fans is that all in. So this is where I want to catch myself. Because what does all in mean for the Cubs? Sandy? Maybe. They've been linked to Sandy. Like, they should be all in on Sandy if that trade is available for them. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the difference between all in and good move but bad trade? Maybe I'll end up removing that category. I think the Cubs should be all in. I haven't done this in a little bit, but the Cubs' recent playoff history, Let me get Cubs baseball reference back up because, it's normally the background of my laptop. The Chicago Cubs have not been to the postseason since 2020, which was fake. The Cubs have not been out of a wild card series, and I guess that means the Cubs haven't won a playoff game since 2017. What were you doing in 2017, Beebs?
I was in college.
Yeah. First couple episodes of Talking Yanks came out. A lot has happened. So in that, I think the Cubs are all in. If Bregman comes back available, that becomes an interesting one. I know young Matt Shaw has had up and down moments over there. That I think it's just easiest to put the Cubs down as they should be all in. You're in first place. You have so much talent. That outfield DH is juicier every day. I think I overthink it for a second there. I guess where I was calling myself out was there's not a ton of upgrade spots. Like catcher, like Reese McGuire and Carson Kelly, sure. Amaya's got an oblique thing, but I think they like him. Otherwise, it's third base, which is young Matt Shaw, who's their 17th prospect, and that's where you might have to go all in for a moment.
Maybe they're the Eugenio team or whatever other rental comes to mind. But
Eugenio, Bregman, like that, it would really change the feeling of this roster. A third baseman and a pitcher sounds like another team I know coming up. But the Cubs should be all in. They haven't tasted it in a while. The Cincinnati Reds, America's sweetheart. I think I would go good trade, soft move. The Reds are 44-40. They're 4 games above 500. That's pretty much what I just told you in different ways. They brought in Terry Francona before the season. They have a young group of pitchers that is electric. And the way that the Cincinnati Reds are going to operate, while they're in 4th place in the NL Central, let me remind you, I think there's a feeling that Cincinnati needs to feel. I don't know how long Tito's going to be there. At a certain point, you have to just keep trying to win games. Sounds lazy. I think they just need to make a good trade, whether that's adding something to the bullpen and it's a 2-year guy, whether it's rearranging some of their young pieces between Encarnacion, Strand, and Steer, and Lux, and Hayes, and Will Benson. It's still just a hodgepodge of, I don't want to say, what is this, Reggie, but a little bit. That, Ellie De La Cruz is looking for another dude in the lineup that he can go ball out with every day. Shout out to TJ Friedel, who's a really fun leadoff guy. It's where people are excited about the Reds. That starting rotation is starting to look really, really fun. The bullpen needs to feel a little more fun. I could do a doing nothing is okay, but if we're going to feed into the juice, good trade, soft move. Hell, I'd think about good trade, bad move if it could bring them in a big piece, but I don't think that's who I want there. Let's see how it develops.
Can already kind of see him just doing that sort of marginal upgrade that's what is the point of this?
Right. That's kind of where they've lived, which again makes me want them to not do that. Cleveland Guard Dogs, good God. They're under 500. Did you know? Yeah. It's where this franchise drives me nuts. Because I don't even know. They could trade Lane Thomas, who has been one of the worst hitters in baseball this year. Other than that, they don't really have rental pieces. Their whole rotation right now is 26 or younger. Their bullpen, Class A, Gaddis, Cade Smith, I think I'm going to put them under doing nothing is okay, but it hurts my soul. But there's not really much to do.
Okay, but this is Cleveland.
Like, if they just roll it, they start winning some games again. 85 wins might get them in the playoffs. And here they are with a really good bullpen, Quan, Jose Ramirez. I mean, there's an argument for soft sell. Carlos Santana I did miss on the way through. But I don't even know. I'm okay if they do nothing. I'll say you're the Guardians. You broke me years ago. Detroit Tigers. I mean, they got to be all in. You have to be all in. Like, this is the season we've dreamt of. You have Skubal in his prime. I mean, if you didn't watch him last night, and a lot of you didn't, and that's okay. It's special because I think we mentioned the walks to strikeout numbers are in its own territory. But what that actually means is Tarek Skubal is willing to pitch at you more than any other pitcher ever, with more control than any other pitcher ever. It was 7 innings, 1 hit, 13 strikeouts. Division opponent. And that was the game. So they have to be all in. I don't know what that means. Could that mean Sandy for them? Some people like them bolstering the rotation. Could that be another lineup guy that just makes it feel a little more sane? And they could go in any direction, really. There's an argument for good trade, soft move, but you're the Tigers. You've dreamt of this. You have the best record in the American League. Let's put the chips on the table. And I think they will. The Houston Astros, my God. They can do whatever they want, huh? It is very tricky. Houston's getting Yordan back. Trev got mad because he did the fake, well, that's like a trade deadline ad. No, he's supposed to be on the team, is the other counter to that. Right now, and I do think Jeremy Pena just went on the 10-day IL, hit by pitch. Tough.
Yeah, ribs.
It's a tough one. It was a tough one. The Houston Astros are really good. Third in bullpen ERA, first in bullpen whip. Hader hasn't blown one this year. The starting pitching numbers are starting to get really good. The offense has some good numbers, some meh numbers, and I expect those to pick up. I'm going to say good trade, soft move. I don't think they have to put their chips all in a way they have. Their farm system isn't one of the tops in baseball at this point. In a way, they could do nothing and it would be okay. Like, they've done a lot of work. I think it's good trade, soft move. And again, for them, that doesn't have to be like, if that's Ryan O'Hearn, that's an amazing move. Cedric Mullins, like, they've got a couple different ways that they can go. I think they just need a lefty outfield bat. I think those are going to be available in different forms. Apparently, Max Kepler's not happy in Philly. Send him over. Why not? They're just going to make a good trade. If they go nuclear, they can. They're the Houston Astros. The Kansas City Royals. Have you seen where they are in the standings? Again, they could have been the last team to make that. Let's see in the next couple weeks. 39-45. Woof. 13.5 back in the Central, an 11% chance to make the postseason, according to Fangraphs. What the heck happened? It's been ugly. You know why? 30th in runs scored. Yikes. I think it's pretty simple. I think they're soft sell. I hope their next couple weeks can change that. Michael Garcia has broken out this year, and that's good. Bobby Witt's here forever. Jonathan India hasn't been a game changer for them, a la the 30th in runs scored. You got Vinny for a couple more years. You just called up Caglione. Like, you don't have to punt on everything that's going on because you're running a chunk of this back next year. But you're 30th in runs scored. So if Jonathan India does something for someone, I mean, punch it. Do we start Jonathan India back to the Yankees rumors, BBD?
Fire it up.
Okay.
I'll add him to tomorrow's Yanks up.
If you're Kansas City, I hope the next couple weeks give you a different story, but I think it's a soft sell. It's none of your core pieces. It's nothing insane. But if you can retool a little bit, they've got bullpen pieces teams would like. India, which again hasn't changed the team's outlook. Like that was the original goal when you traded him for Brady Singer. I guess Royals fans chime in because you might hate that. You might be saying the same thing.
They're one of the teams that around the league has had recent positive feelings around the soft sell. Like they did the Chapman and get Cole Reagans in their move. So
Right.
I think they're a fan base probably uniquely open to the soft sell. None of the core guys that we actually like watching every day, but
I like that. I love it. Okay, I feel better about that.
oh, Pirates, you're there.
Oh, Pirates just jumped on the sell everything line. Skipped ahead. And that's fine. Another team that has become America's absolute darling, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They could have swept this weekend. Instead, they lost 2 out of 3. They are a game under 500. The Angels have the same record as the Diamondbacks. In a way, a lot of that should be celebrated. Which, everything I've said before, in the American League, keeps them in play. They've got an interesting stretch coming up at Atlanta, at Toronto, and then Texas. Hey, the way they've been playing has been better than Atlanta, on par with Texas, and slightly under where Toronto's currently at, but that's a credit to where the Angels have been this year. They're 16th in runs scored, 3rd in homers, thanks to the Joe Adell breakout. The pitching numbers on the whole still not great. This is an interesting one from the standpoint of Taylor Ward. I think he could really pull something. I know a lot of teams that would want them some Taylor Ward. Mike Trout's just not happening, so stop dreaming of it. Rengifo, this is a team we eyed before the season. Tyler Anderson, what does that get you? Kenley Jansen, the Detmers breakout in the bullpen. Do you hold that? Do you capitalize on that? I'm going to put them under. Is doing nothing okay? No. I think put them on soft sell for now. Just from the standpoint of you could trade Kenley Jansen, and I don't know how much the team's makeup really changes. If they want to hold on to a couple pieces, if they like Taylor Ward, and they're debating maybe giving him the qualifying offer. 768 OPS, 20 homers, 8 career WAR. He's 31. I'm going to put them under soft sell. That's what they should do. Their pitching ranks out bad.
Go get something for Kenley. Go get something for Moncada.
Next year can be the year. Next year can be the year. All of your young guys will be back with Mike Trout. Like, I was going to put them under doing nothing is okay, but that's not true. Doing nothing wouldn't be crazy. Yeah, I'm okay with where they've landed. Halo fans, you might disagree. You all might disagree. Good. Shut your mouth.
Comment it and then shut your mouth.
Right.
Subscribe.
And subscribe. Thank you so much. We love you. The Dodgers, where I started this exercise. The Los Angeles Dodgers. They have the injury bug in a bad way still. I know there's a lot of teams that could say that. There's a lot of teams that think they could say that. And the Dodgers, it may be self-inflicted wounds by the way they teach pitching. But my God, they have a ton of pitchers on the IL. For me, this is good trade, soft move. I think you need to add a couple more pitchers just to get you through the season. And
They're
then
in the innings eater category.
Yeah. You're still going to bank on the same guys come the end of the year. But you need a couple arms to get you through the year. And you need to make sure everything you did this offseason, like there's no reason to come up short at the deadline for no reason. Like I don't, doing nothing is okay is in the conversation, but we got room in the bullpen. We got room for innings. They've already done their all-in moves. Go, again, look at that roster when you get a second. And you know what I still like? Offense. These are the categories they're first in. Let me know if these are good. Batting average. Good. Not appreciated like we used to. On-base percentage. Good and good. OPS. Very good. Runs. The best IMO. Home runs, number 1. Dodgers have the best record in the National League. So they're going to make good trade, I think softer moves, just because they don't need to overextend themselves. Maybe, could they be good move but bad trade? I don't know if I have anyone in that category. I might have the Yankees in there. So,
like we kind of want them to do it.
Let's see. Maybe we'll end up getting rid of that one. Maybe we just haven't found the right team yet, going alphabetically. The Milwaukee Brewers. Algonquin for the good place. Could they be an argument for doing nothing is okay? The Brewers are going to brewer. You'd like them to do a good trade soft move, and they traditionally at the deadline have.
You sort of expect them to be in good trade soft move. That's sort of where they live.
That's kind of where they live. So let's put them there. Let's not be snobby about it. They can add. God, their starting pitching has been very good. Mizorowski is a dude. And yeah, I feels like we asked them to go all in, and I don't think this is a year they should go all in. Although they're right on the Cubs' behinds. If they did nothing, would that be okay? Maybe. We'd just be a little sad.
I think that can be said of like all the moves they do. Is like, you didn't have to do that.
Every move they do is good, slightly soft.
Good, little soft. You probably just didn't have to do that.
But by the way, it's working. So I'm not knocking it. And
they're always around it.
Wouldn't hate being on that line.
You see who got called up for them? Former Yankees first-round pick Anthony Siegler.
You know, I saw that on K-Max Insta story. That's where I get
I'm half actually excited to check that out.
That's where I get my baseball news. Good for him. Siegs. Another Yankees catcher in the league?
Yeah.
Wow. The Minnesota Twins. Hello, my friends from the great state of Minnesota and the rivalry that has formed between me and Trevor. 2 weeks to find out. They're about to play Miami, who is the hottest team in baseball, 7 in a row. The Tampa Bay Rays, who are the best team in June. And then the Chicago Cubs. Baseball happens quick. Twins could go on and have a 5-1 week this week. I'm going to go sell everything. The people won't like it. But what have we done? We stopped making moves because we don't know what's going on with our TV deal, which is kind of a sell everything mentality. They've done the same thing the past 2 years where they have one hot stretch and then everything else is bad. If it's a seller's market, and the other teams we currently have on sell everything, the Rockies don't have much, don't trade. White Sox don't have much. Marlins don't have much. Pirates, have the number one asset in the game, but they're not going to trade that.
That's the one thing not on the table, but
The crux. The Minnesota Twins have a little bit of a hodgepodge of everything. Their bullpen could clean up at the trade deadline. A couple of their bats, from Bader as the ideal fourth outfielder for a team, Yankees. To Willie Castro's versatility, to Ty France to plug in for some team. Minnesota, I just don't know where we're going. Like, they'd never trade Buxton, right? Here's a dream world for you. The Philadelphia Phillies, who are looking to round out their super team and get over the top, who have been looking for one more outfielder for a while. Would they press the Buxton button? Would be electric. Would Minnesota actually do it? He's kind of their guy. I don't think they would. There was a day that we dreamt up a ton of Carlos Correa trades. If some team was willing to pick up the tab, I think they'd listen. I'm sorry, Twins fans. I know this isn't what you want, and you could give your American League speech. It has you with a 26.1% chance to make the postseason. I don't have you above the Royals. The Royals are a game behind you. I know what the Royals do. I don't know what you guys do. The Royals pitch. If they score any runs, they win. If you're the Twins, you've been in between for a little bit. Do it.
I know the 13-gamer happened for them, and you can't say it didn't exist, but that means their record in all games outside of that 2 weeks was 27-43, which is a very bad record.
We could do that to a lot of teams with their hottest.
Obviously, you take out any team's best period,
but it's not that bad.
Worse.
Is the point. Sorry, Twins Nation. Dang. The New York Mets. Because the Mets are really great. They had a bad time at the end of this month. They've got a super interesting week. Milwaukee and the Yanks.
Ooh.
Milwaukee's going to play beautiful small ball and try to beat you with speed and defense. The Yankees will go the opposite way. Let's see what goes on for our New York Mets. That Soto guy's kicked in. That's good for them.
Huge.
The New York Mets are all in.
You should be all in.
You just paid a guy $700 million, right? This is the whole thing. Lindor, Pete, Soto. I'm not going to let a couple bad weeks get in the way. I think they should be all in. And they are. They need some pitching. They have holes. You're the Mets. You're the new Mets. They should be all in. It's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. They should be all in. You didn't know what this year was going to bring you. Like, everyone right before the season looked at the Braves and the Phillies and was like, ooh, you should be all in. You should be all in. The New York Yankees. Here we go. The Yankees are brought to you by Cushy Dreams, our presenting sponsor at Wake and Jake. Cushy, code JOHNBOY, 20% off. I feel like I should start there just because you know Cushy's giving you a real deal. And they're the best legal cannabis in the game. Cushy's the best. They've been ride or die with us for a long time. I think they're Bronx-based, just like us. Just like us. And they've got everything you're looking for. They got bud, flower. Yep. They got the gummies, which if you've ever watched any of our JJ TV stuff, we consume and we enjoy. If you've never dabbled, give it a shot. A safe environment. Their THCA stuff, it's legal. Like wherever you are, it's legal. Go check out the website. Click around a little bit. Maybe if you got a friend who can help Sherpa you through the process, take 20% off. the gummies, the smokable THCA, or the entire store when you use code JOHNBOY at checkout. Thank you, Cushy Dreams. All right, Beebs. Like I teased before, our Yankees. In my head, I was kind of leaning good move, bad trade, which now I feel really dumb because nobody else is on that line. I guess for me, what I'm finding interesting is the Yankees, they don't have to go all in. Like, we don't have to Dominguez. Like, who are the other all-in guys? What would we see that would be an all-in trade? And this is unfair to the rest of you guys, and you guys let us know. But we're too George Lombard, like all their Yankees top prospects.
Like thinking of guys off the MLB roster would be Dominguez, Will Warren,
Ben Rice. Like the Yankees have a couple players that. Aaron Judge is getting older. Cole is getting older, and hopefully will be back next year. Stanton's felt older than he is. The Yankees went to the World Series last year. The Yankees have a good team this year. That all in feels interesting because that's obviously the Yankee answer. For whatever reason, it doesn't feel that way. Am I being dumb?
Like with the categories we have presently, I think that's where they belong. And this is a bigger conversation for our tier list as a whole, but I wonder if like changing that second one to like be less responsible.
Right.
Does that how many teams does that shift? And is that kind of what
bad trade was horrible phrasing. Maybe it's
because the Yankees have kind of done
good move.
What good trade soft move is. Like they technically capitalized on the right value, but it wasn't sexy.
Here's what we've fallen for. It would be good move, overpay for need. I think let's change it to that. Because yeah, I'm okay with that. So let me compare it to the Cubs. The Cubs brought Kyle Tucker in for this 1 year. Do we know if the Cubs are going to roll it out for Kyle Tucker? I don't know. Cubs fans, you don't know either. I know they tried to extend PCA. He turned that down. Kyle Tucker could get a crazy number in free agency. Like, I don't know if 400, 500 is on the table. The Cubs and Yankees both need pitching and a third baseman. The Yankees went to the World Series last year. I know I'm supposed to be an old school Yankee fan, and that's not enough. The Cubs haven't won a postseason game since 2017. 1 year rental on the Cubs, who you might lose for $400 million. You're already all in. The Yankees, in a way, are all in. I think they just need to overpay for their needs. And it's the same need that everyone has. But if there's a third baseman available where you need to slightly overpay, I think that would change the world for the New York Yankees. So I'm going to put them at overpay for your needs. Does that move any of the other teams?
Because that's what our ask of the Brewers would be as an example. I guess ditto the Reds.
I guess for me, the Reds and the Brewers, I don't fully know their needs. It's just like get better.
Yeah.
Like they have all of these young, talented parts that I kind of don't feel that way.
Dodgers sort of don't have needs.
They don't have to overpay for anything. Like the Dodgers can just make the right move. Houston, should they?
Houston, they do need a lefty hitting outfielder. Like maybe that is as simple as Max Kepler or whatever.
Right. But they might not have to pay for Max Kepler.
Yeah, like it's kind of like just go get it done, which might literally be overpaying. But
let's see how the rest of it sorts out. Because right now it feels super obnoxious just having the Yankees on their own line.
Yeah. And almost more obnoxious to the other team I would really think about is the Mets.
Overpay for your need.
Because, like, they're not... It's year one of the Soto deal. Lindor's like, I know it's the only year you're promised of Pete moving forward, but like first base you can figure out. Like this year isn't like the team's over after this year.
I guess here's my thing. Like, the Yankees' needs are super clear. The Mets need pitching.
I need at least a reliever or two,
every
but
team needs pitching. So we could start there. And your need, obviously, there's a sliding scale on pitching. The Mets could go so many different ways with their lineup. Like, could they bring in a catcher? Could they bring in a center fielder? Could they bring in a third baseman? Could they, like, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, for whatever option is available, the Mets should be all in on that.
Like, I expect them to come out of it having plugged 3 of those 4 holes, whatever you consider, and like they can figure out the rest internally, and that's not the end of the world.
Like, whatever it is, whatever the best option on the table for the Mets is, they should go all in on it. Where the Yankees don't really have that luxury. Like, the Yankees have a ton of catcher, first baseman, and lefty outfielders that they need a third or a second baseman. I'm going to start hammering third base. That if one of the third basemen is available, like, the Yankees need to be willing to overpay whatever that looks like for it.
Like, if they find themselves throw one more piece away from the trade being done, like, they kind of have to just do it. Like, obviously, everything depends, but
like, I think okay, let's go back to the Sandy example. If Sandy's on the table, I think Sandy's more impactful for the Cubs than the Yankees. That if the Cubs went, quote-unquote, all in on Sandy and they left Matt Shaw at third, I think that's fine. If the Yankees don't address another infielder, it's very not fine. Like, Matt Shaw's a rookie. The light bulb could go on, bing bong. We're good. We traded for Sandy, dude. We're going to be okay. I'm going to leave it for now. Let's continue to chew through the list. The Athletics are sell everything, right? There's nothing to be proud about. They can be down there. God, Twins fans are not going to be happy.
Yeah. The only thing I have on the A's is, like, what does sell everything exactly look like? I don't know what pieces are fully available. A's fans in the chat, let us know.
How about this? This was controversial last year. If the A's got a king's ransom for Mason Miller, push the button. I think last year it was a debate. I don't think it is this year.
And having that one less full year on it, like, does, like, solve the mental gymnastics of...
He hasn't been as good. There's another year in, like...
Because last year, the mental gymnastics of, like, what is the value of full years on a guy who's just a closer?
I guess A's fans, if you're here, I'm very interested. Because that was hot topic. And now it feels like... Could be interesting. The Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, how about this? Could I put them for overpay for your needs?
I'm definitely thinking about it.
Because, like, they have a lot of young, really good pitching that should be the next generation of Phillies baseball. I don't know if they need to go... I guess they're very similar to the Yankees. They have a lot of veteran players. They're in their window. There is, like, a semblance of a secondary window that I don't think they need to package all of their young pitchers or really put it on the table. In a way, they do.
Like, I think in the case of both of those fan bases, I think they're going to see this graphic and say, no, we're all in.
Right.
Which isn't actually different from what we're saying they should do, but...
It's not far off, and it's a tier away. So I'll let Yankee fans and Philly fans get mad at each other, but they have a lot in place. They should go the next level for their needs. And for the Phillies, maybe that's Cedric Mullins, maybe that's Luis Robert, maybe that's whatever the outfielder is. Who did I just daydream for them earlier this episode?
Buxton.
Dombrowski's here. I feel his presence. But I could see them trading a big piece, an Aiden Miller, is Mick Abel, is this for the world to see or is this for them? Because they still have Andrew Painter on the way. So I like them going for their needs. This next one is also a doozy. San Diego. Are they overpay for their needs? Because they can't be all in. Yeah. Maybe I'm just talking myself into anything now. Just an hour deep into this. No, I think I'm going to believe it because they have clear needs as the depth on their team. They need an outfielder bad. They could use a DH. They could use a catcher. And Padre fans, we have a few in the office right now. I don't think they can go all in. They can't. I can't guarantee the Padres a playoff spot right now. So,
no, they're a team that should have a lot of business they got to take care of this winter one way or another.
They got to start cleaning some stuff up, whatever that means. I think you're in on this season. Go get your needs. I don't think it can be soft, and I don't think that's Preller's identity. So I'm so much happier with how it looks currently. And again, maybe this is just blind, or maybe I shouldn't have gone in alphabetical order. That is the question. The San Francisco Giants, can we do them as doing nothing is okay?
I had that thought as I was looking at which teams are coming up. They did it.
If they just say, hey, guys,
we did it. He's here forever.
Figure it out. I think that would be okay. I think people would differ on that, or maybe could trade soft move. I think if they just roll it, they just brought in Devers. I think they're good. I like that as a little caveat. The Seattle Mariners. My God. The bane of my existence. The Seattle Mariners. 43-40. 60% chance to make the playoffs. Overpay for your needs. I mean, they feel like the opposite of the Brewers, where they do good trade, soft move, but it's not good.
Yeah, but it
doesn't work.
The good move, soft trade, good trade, soft move they do doesn't fit into the puzzle.
No, it doesn't. It's okay. Here's another. Let's go overpay for your needs. Seattle, the need is still offense, although they have some numbers. How much of them are cooked by Cal Raleigh? 7th in homers, 12th in runs, 10th in OPS. Cal definitely shaking the needle on that. Shaking the needle? That's feels druggy. Overpay for another hitter. And let's see what it feels like. Seattle. God, I'm just filling up that row. I would love to know, in the bizarro world where I did this by top to bottom, does this still happen? I guess I did tease it before that I thought the Yankees would be in the second column. And we renamed it. I feel okay with it. The St. Louis Dirty Birds. C'est quoi? Did you know the St. Louis Cardinals are good? Did you know if the playoffs started today, St. Louis would be the last wild card team? I'm going to put them in doing nothing is okay. If they want to ride this thing out, screw it. Sonny Gray, 89-pitch shutout. Why not? Helsley was supposed to be the exciting piece at this deadline. Arenado turned down a trade before the season.
They tried to not do nothing with him.
If they just want to roll the ball out there, I'm cool with it.
With the exception of Helsley, the other guys, if they decide this didn't work, they can revisit it in the offseason. We can finish this year out and
who's it, Fetty?
No harm done.
I think this is Fetty's last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how much that moves the needle. I think if they kind of did nothing during the offseason and it was okay, so why not keep that going through the deadline, babe? The Tampa Bay Rays, holy cow. They went from soft sell, the Rays operate on their own. You know what, Beebs? I think I found something I like.
Okay.
I might tell them doing nothing is crazy.
The Rays.
Like, either be the Rays and trade Brandon Lau and all of us freak out and we're like, God damn it, the Rays. Why do you do this? But that's still them being the Rays. Or trade for Marcell Ozuna. Like, go nuts.
They might do both.
Have a Rays. Right, that's the other thing.
They believe doing nothing is crazy.
And I think that's a win for the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox, putting Tampa on that line. Like, Tampa, don't just do nothing. That would be so casually reckless. Do something.
You have pieces that can get you real returns, so I expect them to cash in on one of those.
That would be such a treat. If the Rays do the trade out, trade in, but they think they won both trades, that would just be so delicious.
Yandy's out, but Ozuna's here.
Such GMing at like a crazy video game level that nobody else gets to do. Doing nothing would be crazy. Let's see what our sweet, beautiful Rays do. That leaves 3 teams on the board. The Texas Rangers, who I like. There's an argument for soft sell. There's an argument for good trade, soft move. There's an argument for doing nothing is crazy. I'm currently leaning there. But at the same time, there's an argument for doing nothing is okay. Like, they won a title. They have Bochy. They kind of like their pieces. No, doing nothing with this team would not be okay. I'm going to put them on doing nothing is crazy. Like, if they soft sell, I would give them a golf clap and be like, that's probably the right move. If they added, I'd be like, yeah, Texas.
They're supposed to be one of the 2 best AL teams.
I still look at their lineup and I just don't get why it's 25th in runs, 29th in on base, 28th in OPS. Doing nothing would be crazy. If they can get a really good value for something at the deadline and they sell, I would get it. Because that's what they've put out on the field. I think you guys know I'm still standing on my Rangers business. Their need is hitting. They shouldn't overpay for it, so I'll go do nothing is crazy. We've got a pretty good balanced board here. The Toronto Blue Jays. Hello. Toronto has been in the mix for a while in this beautiful season. Vladdy had a super mature quote the other day. He's like, I'm not looking ahead to I think he was talking about the trade deadline. I think he said, I'm not looking ahead to that. I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. Like, all right, Vladdy. Okay, kid. 5th in on-base percentage. 15th in runs. Don't love that. Toronto. Overpay for your needs. Maybe. I guess, Beebs, I'm between overpay for your needs or good trade, soft move. Because there is one thing that we're overlooking here. They made a lot of moves before the season. One of them just came back. Max Scherzer. Mm-hmm. So, I thought about doing nothing is okay, but it's kind of not. You've got the Blue Jays.
Flowers on their team.
The Blue Jays have a lot of guys that get paid. Gossman, Barrios, Bassett, Scherzer get paid. Those guys,
they all get actual.
Those guys can buy dinner. Vladdy, Bo kind of gets paid. Kirk, team-friendly extension. George Springer gets paid.
For reliever, Jeff Hoffman is getting paid.
I want to say overpay for your needs. Like, let's go, Toronto. We've done the free agency game so many times. Toronto, you've dreamed of the 45-38 start to the season so many times. If I bring up their playoff stuff, how mad am I about to get? When's the last time they've really danced?
Last playoff win.
2023, lost 2-0 in the wild card. 2022, lost 2-0 in the wild card. 2020, lost 2-0 in the wild card. The Toronto Blue Jays have not won a playoff game since 2016. So we're overpaying for our needs. Hell, there's an argument for all in, but I don't think I can stomach it right now.
If Vladdy hadn't
Are they all
happened,
in?
I think they're definitely all in. And they maybe
I think
should
they're
be all
all
in
in.
anyway.
I think they're all in.
The way they can get stars in the door is by trading for
By
them.
going all in.
The Giants just finally learned the lesson. Blue Jays, you got to learn the lesson too. You gotta make a trade.
If Sandy's available for Toronto, they should be all in.
If that opens up your ability to flip one of the other guys for some other need.
Wow. What plot twist to this at the end. The Blue Jays joined some of the elites on the all-in level. The second row, which I might have just dreamed of filling out, has filled itself out. We'd almost have a perfect pattern, but the Washington Nationals need to sell everything.
A part of me, to make it pretty, wants to put them in doing nothing's okay, because nobody wants what they're selling anyway. Joke.
It
But
would,
they should sell what they can sell.
I mean,
Go get
I'm
some.
currently debating rearranging parts of this to make it feel like, do I upgrade the Twins? Because right now, got it. The Twins do not deserve to be there. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The Nats go on sell everything. Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Bell. Get them out of here. Whatever you can get for your pitching. I saw Kyle Finnegan through 3 innings this weekend. What's that do for you?
Oh.
Michael Soroka. I think we've done it yet again, people. On all in, Cubs, Detroit, and the Mets, kind of without explanation. The Toronto Blue Jays with some. Overpay for your needs. Yanks, Phils, Padres, Mariners. Pretty straight up. Good trade, could be considered soft. Cincy, we've got to think about more things here. Houston and LA are just good enough that they just have to make the smart move.
For them, it's very complimentary that you're here.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to panic on anything.
No. If there's nothing for them, they'd be okay. Milwaukee and Cincinnati are more so they have to think in multiple years because it could end quickly.
They are on this list in a way that doing nothing would be crazy,
Right.
where the other two are on in a way that doing nothing would be okay.
God, would it be possible? No, I'm getting in my own head. Doing nothing is okay. Cleveland, it is and it isn't. The Giants, it is because they made their big trade. And St. Louis, it is because they did nothing this offseason and they're having a fun summer. Doing nothing is crazy. Arizona, Boston, Tampa, and Tejas. Soft sell, Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, and the Angels. Sell everything. Rockies, White Sox, Marlins, Pirates, Twins, A's, and Nats. Twins, I'll be honest, if you wanted to be mad at me, seems like the absolute right time. But I explained myself. So if you agree, comment below. If you disagree, comment below. If I told you to shut your mouth, comment below, and I'm sorry. But we thank you guys. A tier list from the gods to sneak us into this 4th of July week. We will see you back here Wednesday. The other sports are sporting a little bit. NBA's hitting their silly fun period. NFL, not so much, I guess.
Big trade this morning.
Hockey draft we'll dive into. Thank you, guys. Subscribe, all the good stuff. 29.9K. So if you're thinking about it, now would be great.
Today.
Now would be great. You guys are the best. We'll see you Wednesday.